Okay, so today we are going to see how to create entity framework DB context in our project and also the models by a simplified manner. So when you are working with entity framework, you will have the database. So this is our database. You will have the tables. You will have all other objects, and you will keep adding uh, tables, stored procedures, like whatever items you want to add, you can add um, to these database. And your application, when you are using entity framework, you should always update your entity framework project with the latest objects. Like if you add a table, you should come here and you should update your application so that then only your application will use the newly added table. So in entity, when you are working with entity framework, there are two aspects, important aspect. Creating database context is the one, and creating the models. So here model is nothing but it represents one table. So one table in your SQL server is equivalent to one model here. So today we are going to see a simplified manner how we are uh, generating the entity framework model. So before that, I'll go to new get package. So the NuGet packages are very important in the .NET Core because most of the time you use NuGet packages. I'm going to remove or uninstall all of them. So that's why go to your NuGet package official site and grab commands from there. And somehow if you are not finding any NuGet package, then there is an issue with your package name itself. So please check the names of your package. Okay, so open a new browser. So like these are the commands we are going to use. So this is the scaffolding command. This is the scaffolding command. And if you want to scaffold, if you want to execute this successfully, you have to add these three packages. So go here and check for NuGet package official site. Go to official site. So all the NuGet packages will be here. So if it is not finding means, see there is a spelling mistake. SOFT. Okay. So now search it. So you find it, right? So this is the earlier we were unable to find it because we missed one letter. So update this one. So go here, NuGet package, search here. So this is the one. Yeah, the latest one. Always rely on this site. If this site is not giving the package details, then there is an issue with your package itself. Be careful and revisit. So these are the three commands. These are the three packages. So how should I know which package I need to install? Okay, so don't install anything. So come here and check this Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL. Okay, copy this and it will only let you know uh, what are the missing packages. So go to so go to package manager console. So here, yeah, it's initializing. Then put the command. So scaffold db context. This is your uh, connection string. Okay, and you have to put trusted certificate in the latest SQL Server versions. So Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL Server output directory models. So and execute this. So when you are executing your NuGet packages, keep double check the project which you are running. If you are running on the API, you have to select API, but I am going to select patient data and double check. So if you don't execute in the proper, if you don't select like whatever the required project, it will be installed on the selected project. So there is nothing damage will happen. Again, you can uninstall it. But to avoid that kind of uninstallation, so please double check when you are executing this. Okay. So this will complain. This will try to execute the command and it will complain what missing. So build started. Build succeeded. Wow. So go to frameworks. Oh no, it didn't even ask anything. It's weird. Okay, check the okay. So now it is complaining. So it added whatever required, but all of this, you see that Microsoft .NET Entity Core, it's show potential fixes. So yeah, it didn't complain, but these namespaces missing. So now go back to your other windows, package manager console. So select this one. So NuGet package. Okay. So don't rely. Come here, copy this. So this is the source of truth. Execute. Successfully executed. Then come here, copy this, execute. Come here, copy this, execute. No, not an entity framework. If you are trying to create models by using the DB context, so yeah, so predominantly you have to use these namespaces um, if you want to use entity framework. No. Still, if you are creating manual also. So these see the DB set and all you have to do mandatory. Yes. Okay. So now just check and verify. So this is your DB context. So I can do this manually also, but if you are doing it manually, you have to write a lot of code. But check this. So this is your DB context class, which is inheriting from the DB context. This is predefined. So there are two constructors. In the second constructor, I'm passing the DB context options, again the same class name to the base. Okay, so then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables in my database. So come here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the 5 tables here, for all the 5 tables, models will be created. We go through the models one by one. So once they created, they will be referred as DB set. So that means it is a table. It is a model you are referring. So this is the object you can refer in your code. We'll see that. So these will represent your sets of models. So address is a model which will take one address, right? So suppose there is a one entry, so this will take one record, but it's a table. So here when I say DB set, that means it's multiple records. Same thing for city, country. Okay, so again on configuring. So this is a overridden method. So which is there in the DB context class. Okay, so here um, on model creating is one more overridden method. So where I am specifying specifications of each table. So let's see the city table, country table. So where is country? So country. So what is the primary key in the country? Um, so what is the primary key and what are the minimum lengths, maximum lengths, and all the table specifications it is configuring here for the country table. So this is state table. So in state table, what is the primary key and what is the foreign key and what are the like limitations and what is the trigger. So this is called a foreign key reference. So this is foreign key column, this is primary key column, and this is the reference between those two tables. And if you see the city, so this is the primary key and these are the validations on the table, and this is the foreign key column, and this is the referential integrity between the primary key and foreign key. So everything will be created like that. And if you are not doing it, so the DB, the scaffold command is doing everything for you. And if you want to do it manually, you have to do everything manual. Okay. So just build this and how we are going to. So if there is a new table, again you have to run the scaffold command so that again everything it will be refreshed. Okay. So yeah, so rebuilding was successful. Then how to use this? I'm going to remove this class library 2 here. So I'm going to use this. I think already we referred this in the project. So go to the controller. Okay, so remove this and using uh, patient data dot models. Okay, so get countries, country got referred, this one got referred. Okay, so there is no issue with here. Come to the business, go to iService first. So remove this patient data dot models. Yes, this got resolved. And come to the services. So here also patient data dot models. Remove this. Yes. So it is referring the country list and it is referring the state list. So let's execute this and see if it is pulling data properly. Then whatever we have done is correct. So there are some build errors. Check that. Maybe the program.cs. Yes. In the program.cs, patient data. Yes. Now run it. Okay, so come here, try it out. It's pulling the data from the database and now displaying here. You can see. Okay, so get master ID, try it out. To, yeah, so it is returning the states for US, and if you say 3, it will return, yeah, states for UK. And if you pass something which I don't have, it will be same. So it doesn't return anything. Okay, so quickly implement all other tables. So cities, edit 200 rows. So states, select. So I want to add Texas ID is 1. Oh, it's TS. Telangana state ID is 1. Okay, so here Hyderabad 1. So Secunderabad 1. Then AP. So AP ID is 2. His name is not mandatory. It's strange. Okay. So then what is the other one? Vizag 2, Vijayawada 2. So Texas 3, Dallas 3, 3. So then MS 4, 4. Okay, so England 5. Mhm. Okay, now is it clear? Is it clear? Hello? Okay. City 6. Uh, is it 7? Okay, 7, 7. Okay, so now this is done. What are the other tables? Address, we are going to insert data. from the UI page. Patient information states. Okay, so how to pull the data for get states, get cities. So public enumerable city. So get cities int id. So then int id, implement it here. Public enumerable. So if you just you can implement interface, that's going to do that. Okay, city ID. I need to return states, right? This is not required now. So where cities, so from city in patient db context dot cities where city dot sid, we are passing id, and we have to select city dot to list and return cities. You can do like this also, return from, put it in the entire, like this also you can do. Okay, yeah. So for this I'm going to write a new http get, so id public enumerable city get int id id. So here you can give the alias name because it's same. So name equal to what is it? Get cities. Remove this. But still these two are taking same parameter. That is an issue. So you can keep get cities. Okay. That's it. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. Anyway, it should it's not an issue, um, because it is returning the values. So here you are taking into variable, then you are returning. So if you want, we can do the same, but it doesn't. Cities, return cities. Mm, Actually, it should be get only. So multiple get methods. Get methods in core API. So route we will give ID, name. Okay, get. Yeah, that's okay. Even we can give. Do we need to define route also? Let's define a route. Right, right. So the JSON it is the JSON it is not okay. Do like this. Give the route. Give the name and see this. Okay. Give the route. Okay. So the route basically you can give a different route. Just check. So this is not going to accept it because if you both of these methods, if you see, they are not overloaded methods. If you go to my YouTube channel, there is a video explaining about overloaded methods in the framework. So when you define two methods, whether they are proper overloading or not, it considered based on the parameters it takes. And if they both have same name and with different parameters, if I add one more parameter here, int x, so this will be a proper overloading. But if I have same method name and if I have different the same parameter set, then it's not going to be a overloaded method. So that's why we need to either have a additional parameter or a name. Yeah. So where is that master ID? CID. CID means not this one. Okay, you got Dallas and San Antonio. So these are the cities. Yeah, so let's move on. We need to create a. So this is master. Master is nothing but the cities, states. So again, if you add some more master tables like the products or the like branches. So those kind of this master will handle. So, but we need to handle the patient information, right? So patient information. So for that, I'm going to create a new controller and I'll name it as, I'm going to select MVC API controller. So you want to have a read write action or read write action controller with actions using entity framework. We will try this and see how it generates. So in that case, you have to select the model. So it's going to be a patient information model. So the DB context you have to select uh, and controller name patient information controller. Patient information controller, or you can simply say patient controller. Just click on add. It's going to create a new controller, and this controller it uses the entity framework DB context and the model we specified. Yeah, it takes some time because it has to generate the model, generate the controllers. Yeah, so this is a full-fledged controller with all the, and this is suggestible to use the namespaces within the namespace inside. So there is an article, good article I'll give. So no, that's why, yeah, that's why I'm going to give a nice article using namespace inside or outside. So there is a namespaces, not C++, C sharp. Yeah. So how to use, there are two ways you can use namespaces. Uh, there is an, there should be a nice article. Using namespace directive. Did you see here? Using NC1. Namespace keyword. Mm, So there is a working with namespaces. I'll find that article. So there is a nice article uh, where to declare where to declare using in C sharp namespaces using directive using statement in C sharp is outside. Yeah. So there is a like again outside R. I'll give that article so that yeah, outside namespaces. No, there is a article of ensure correct use of disposable. What is the using statement? So like your C sharp classes like based on namespaces, right? So when you like multiple namespaces, when you declare in one file or in two different files as a partial classes, so this entire thing will be treated and um, that will be built. So if you combine them, so if there is a conflict between the namespaces, it will not be, the conflict will be avoided. Otherwise, if you use it outside, the other namespaces and the inner side namespaces, if you have same uh, namespaces with same name, then there will be a conflict. Okay, but it doesn't matter whether you make it outside or inside. It's a good pattern if you keep all your names using statements inside your. I'll find that article. It was good, and I'll give it to you so that you can find more information. Okay, so let's come to your controller. So this is API controller that we know, and controller base that is also we know. And see whatever we have done in the master controller manually. So we created a service, right? So here it's using the DB context. Okay, so here the problem is it's using the DB context directly. So which we don't want to use it. So it's using the DB context directly, and this is the get method. This is the get specific method. Okay, this is edit method, and this is a post method, and this is a delete method. So we are going to update this one. So in order to do that, first you have to create your iService. So here they are directly using the DB context, and they are directly getting the values. So let's see whether this will work or not. So this is not using any services, but we are going to use the services. So it generated the API. So I'll just see there is no data, so that's why you don't see any data. Okay, so there is empty. That means it's executing the query, but it's not returning any data. So this API, this controller, we are going to use the services. So all these queries will create the services, and this controller is using, it will use the service to fetch or update or to do any activity. Okay, so today's session is very important because we created the DB context and we created the models, and your project is ready to use the entity framework. So now your job is to create the services which will use the entity framework objects to retrieve the data, to post the data, and to do all kind of activities. So that we are going to see it in the next session. So tomorrow in next session we are going to see how to pull the data from the patient information by using the service. Then we will see how to post a patient information, and then we'll see the delete and update also. Okay, so that's why watch this video one more time and try to replicate whatever we have done. So in between I owe you like whether we have to use inside or outside the namespaces. I'll find it out and I'll give the link. Okay. Any questions on today's session? Okay. Yeah. 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 Sure. Sure. So I'll see because this is a big project. Whether I can send it through. Yeah. I'll see how can I send it and I'll work on it. Okay. Yeah.